Hello, everybody. Let's go to the train. Which one? Which one? Knight Errant and Red Dragons. Wuxing. Is it Wuxing or Wuxing? I feel like it should be Wuxing. But Wuxing is also sounds sillier. I don't know. Does it? Let's go to Whampoa. Or Whampoa. Whamp. 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 I mean, yeah, like, so in Shadowrun Returns, like, the first one, like, you didn't have a party that you, like, could hire for free. So it, like, made sense to have all of these other, Shadowrunners that you could just hire along. And, like, I guess it's not like it doesn't make sense. Because, I mean, look at this. You got 2 drones here. That's kind of absurd. And then, like, you could also, yeah, you could have mages or combat mage and, like, but I don't know, it seems strange because, like, they're whatever. I guess it's a very little thing. Like, it's by all means, I'm glad that they allow you to hire Shadowrunners. I'm not sure I understand the point. Whampoa Garden, a carnival of chrome and neon, rife with every manner of technology and artifice one can imagine. The entire area has the feel of a night market, save that chips are sold in lieu of steamed buns, and vendors hawk the latest drones rather than folk art. Something stalks these streets, hiding just out of sight. It stalks the Whampoan elders, leaders of the band of tech-savvy squatters that have claimed this neighborhood as their own. The streets smell of ozone and fear, and those Whampoans you pass in the MTR station have a haunted, furtive look in their eye. While the killer has struck only at the elders thus far, it may only be a matter of time before ordinary residents are menaced as well. We don't need to... Mummy Spirit. Do I wanna equip that? Nah. Not yet, at least. I mean, there's no downside to equipping it, because we have 2 empty inventory spots, but... the streets of the Whampoan Garden are slick with rain, glittering under the neon glow of myriad signs and holographic displays. The sky reflects the same glow, painting the white apartment blocks of the sickly orange of sodium streetlights. The smell of grilling meat mingles with other rarer scents, ozone, engine oil, and high-tech fabrication facilities. Despite the hour, there are plenty of people out and about. You can hear the calls of street vendors and touts urging people into their stores. Gobbet stretches her arms out, turning in a circle. Welcome to the wonderful world of Whampoa. Seriously, that's what they call the boat. Mall. Whatever. Why did somebody build a mall shaped like a boat? I'd guess it's because it's memorable. What other reason could there be? When the economy tanked after the crash of 29, techno-fetishist tribes started squatting in it. They've been here ever since. And no use standing around here in the rain, then. Come on, let's go see what the elders have to say. Hi, guys. Oh, God. I heard he's not dead. He's just been all cut up. So we need to go down there. Okay, well, let's see what's going on up here first. Anybody? Anything? I don't know, I just don't feel safe here anymore. Is there anybody we can, like, talk to? Got like little side quests up here. Got a really bulky orc dude over here. No? Nobody to talk to? No chats we can have? No people we can get some information from? This is something about humans over there. Apparently they don't like humans in this area. We're probably gonna be like exploring all of this at some point. Anyway, how about you? Can we chat with you? No, nothing. Okay, all right. Guess we're just going right in here. Huh? No use standing out in the rain, as he said. Hi guys, this looks kind of run down. Hi. This orc woman is festooned with small circuits, tiny trid screens, and speakers. The trid screens display snippets of trid broadcasts from every corner of the world. Tiny speakers play counterpoint with the susurrus of voices speaking Sparithial, Punjabi, Kazakh, and other languages. Punjabi? I think it's Punjabi. Punjabi. Her expression is haggard, and she fidgets with her fingers as you approach. Welcome. Welcome to the Whampoa, my friend. I am Elder and these are Elders Tang and Ip. Inga gestures to the elf and human, who each incline their heads respectfully. Thank you so much for answering our request for help. We had nowhere else to turn. It's the least I could do. Under Tang's skin, glowing tattoos writhe and change shape. Tigers become cranes and move on to dragons. We're under threat. One by one, we elders are being hunted by some monster. As you may have noticed when you arrived, there's been another killing just tonight. Ip crosses his solid chrome arms. Holographic readouts dance constantly over their surface, displaying diagnostic information about their state, operating temperature, servo pressure, and a variety of other minutiae. He has the bearing of someone who could handle himself in a fight. I'm certain you have some questions. Ask, and we'll do our best to tell you what we know. Can you tell him, have you made any enemies lately? I don't know. Not that I can think of. We keep to ourselves. We buy and sell technology. We're not mercenaries or criminals. We're merchants and deckers. And even if someone was cheated in a deal, this kind of response is unthinkable. Whatever did this, it wasn't human. The violence and savagery, it's a monster. Whatever. I mean, you're not human, technically. Plenty of there we go. Plenty of metahumans are monsters too, and just because it's horrible doesn't mean it's supernatural. What can you tell me? They started 2 weeks ago. The first to go was gone. We found him in his apartment, eviscerated. Inga swallows, grimacing at the painful memory. He'd been torn apart. His head had been ripped completely off, most of his skin flayed away. There was so much blood, it took us a week to clean out his apartment. Sure. Sorry about that. Tang nods, running his palm over his forehead. The rest have been the same, always at night, always dismembered. Each scene is like a nightmare, and every time nobody's seen anything. It's like a ghost. What happened to Tong? The same thing that happened to the rest of the victims, evisceration and dismemberment. We sent a guard to keep people out of his shop, but he'll let you in. When did he die? Sometime early tonight. He locked up his shop, but Ip stopped by to ask him about some skill chips he had. The door was unlocked, and inside, lifts her hands helplessly. She opens her mouth, but no words come out. Seeing her inability to continue, Ip takes over. Inside looked like a bad horror sim, just like all the other murders. It had to have happened after sundown, because I saw his shop was open when I was on my way to get some noodles for supper. Why didn't you call the police? The Hong Kong police force isn't welcome here. They've tried to force us out several times before, or come hunting for someone to pin a crime on. We do a lot of favors for local gangs and triads, handle their matrix security, fix up their gear, and make sure they have access to the Hong Kong Shadowlands hub. We're too valuable a resource for them to lose, so they protect us when the HKPF or anyone else decides we're an easy target. They handle our physical security, and we make sure to send the message via the Matrix. Last time the HKPF made trouble, we started airing the assistant chief's dirty laundry over the trid. They got their picture and backed off. What do you guys do? I'm the invoker of spirits. Sprites? Invoker of lemon lime soda? I mean, I commune with the spirits of machines, ask them for blessings, and I pass those blessings on to the people here. I heal the sick and ensure the feng shui of our habitats is as good as it can be given our confines. Tang extends his arms, palms up, as you watch the tattoos therein shift into a complex mathematical formula. I am the first and glorious servo. I study patterns, repair machinery, and teach others how to attune themselves to the wonders of automation. The blessed Autofab is my shop and purview, where we make the drones we use and sell. Really? What a fascinating and spiritual spin on things. Roctor inclines his head towards Tang. I'd be interested in hearing more about your philosophy once we're done with the job. I think I may find your perspective to be very interesting. As for me, I serve as the resplendent voltage spike. Ip smiles crookedly. That means I shoot people who try to screw with us. It's a fancy title for head of security. It might be wise to ask the residents of Whampoa Garden if they've seen or heard anything after you've gone to Tong's Sensory Carnival. They may have seen or heard things we have not. Good to know. Thanks. So now we go chat, have a chat. Okay. Hi guys. What's going on here? Can we go in? Porter Lamb at your service. The elders told me you'd be coming. They tell you what happened to Tong? Just the basics. Huh. Nothing's basic about this. I've seen people shot, stabbed, beaten to death. Hell, I've even seen a corpse that was so dry and desiccated I could have sworn a vampire got to it. None of that's got anything on this. Brace yourselves and go in. Okay. Hi, guys. Tong's Sensory Carnival looks like a scene out of a B-grade slasher sim. The cloying scent of incense hangs thick and pungent in the air, emanating from a small shrine at the corner of the shop. Unfortunately, it does nothing to cover up the reek of death and clotted blood. Despite the ragged remnants of Elder Tong littering the floor, the rest of the shop appears to be in good order, at least at first glance. Nothing is broken, tipped over, or otherwise ransacked. As you're about to step further into the room, you glance at the ceiling and walls. The blood from Tong's body isn't just confined to where his remains lie. Drying blood is spread about the walls and ceiling as well. Tasty. Let's look at the wall first. The walls are covered in splattered and smeared blood, most of which is hardened into a crusty, congealed paste. So descriptive. So descriptive. Thick tracks of it run laterally. It looks like the blood has been deliberately smeared. Kira, I don't know a whole lot about science or all that, but I know what blood looks like when it hits a wall. This isn't natural. Somebody deliberately smeared this blood all over these walls. See how it looks like it's got paint trails? It's because somebody used Tong's parts like a brush. So they painted his walls with... Why? Do I look like a psychologist to you? Maybe because they're a freak. Maybe they are one of those sick serial killers that sees their murders as art. I got no clue. All I know is what normal blood looks like on a wall, and this ain't it. Hey, you think that's strange? You ought to see these kind of sims that are coming out of the Kolkata these days. They took that poly POV tech and then collapsed all the carrier signals into one POV. They're like 4 people at once. And the underground gigs do blank jobs. You know, where they kill one of the POVs. Sick stuff. Thank you. Hi. Hi, but... Tong's body is a ruined mess. The destroyed ruin of his face is barely recognizable, and what is left of his body would be best described as savaged. All of his limbs have been torn off, and a pile of flayed skin lies next to the remnants of the Whampoan elder. The Whampoan's clothing has all but been reduced to rags and tissue by cuts and tears apparently sustained during the flaying. At this point, the only thing holding what's left of his body into a semblance of human form is the hair-thin fiber optics of his cyberware. Gobbet puts a hand over her mouth, speaking in an uncharacteristically serious tone. Sweet heavens. I haven't seen anything like that since Auntie Wong tried to slash some cred sticks into a devil rat's nest. Takes a lot to turn my stomach, but we sure have a winner today. This is seriously messed up. I'll second that. This isn't a murder. This is more like, I don't know, feeding frenzy. If it weren't for the skin, I'd say Tong stepped on a goddamn mine or something. Have Roctor examine the body? Roctor takes his time examining the body, taking small notes on his PDA. Curious. No subdermal bruising where skin's been removed. No signs of struggle. Coagulation of blood and lividity marks the time of death between 2 and 4 hours ago. The knife marks are methodical. Killer doesn't seem to have been interested in preserving the skin as any kind of whole. It was removed a bit like one fillets a fish, path of least resistance. Some of the strips of skin have a more ragged edge than others. The ragged edge looks consistent with claw rather than blade. Raptor makes a curious noise as he examines the remnants of Tong's face and neck. Oh. His neck's been severed between the 5th and 6th cervical vertebrae. Scoring across the bone indicates bladed weapon, and the sharp one at that. Doesn't match any of the other wounds. Raptor stands and looks you directly in the eye. If I had to guess, I'd say he was killed with a blow to the back of the neck. Everything else was subsequent damage. Why would someone kill him and then skin him? Honestly, I have no idea. Perhaps whatever did the rest of the damage was secondary, an action of opportunity or the like. Without further information, I'm not comfortable guessing. Got it? You're the boss, and this is gonna be unpleasant. Gobbet closes her eyes, and taking a deep breath, after a moment, she opens them again and makes a strange grunting noise. There's no fear here, Kira. No anger either, just this kind of satisfied feeling. Tong never saw it coming, and whoever did it was professional about it, which is pretty odd because nobody's professional about eviscerating a body as far as I know. Was it? I don't know why the killer was after Tong, but it definitely wasn't any kind of mindless creature, or even somebody particularly passionate. It was somebody who planned this and executed it and was glad about it. I don't know, it just kind of feels like it was just business as usual. Great. Good. What's in here? Hi. Tong's desk drawers are open, and the safe that's built into one side has been opened. There's no sign of tampering, and the green light next to the word unlocked is blinking. Whoever opened the safe did it with a key fob. Inside are several blank cred sticks, but no sign of any with money on them. Looks like someone looted his stash. A guy like this wouldn't keep only empty cred sticks in his safe. Okay. What about in here? This is a Yamaha 95000V SimSynth, device for mixing and mastering SimSynth chips. Several drive bays are empty and all the chip jacks are empty. Screens flashing a repeated error message. Warning, requested files cannot be found. Please return drives to bay and try it again. Banging away at the SimSynth's keyboard, you manage to suspend the drive error warning for a time. Digging into the guts of the machine's recent files, you manage to kick it into diagnostic mode. While it's not as good as having access to the full system, maybe you can learn something anyway. Memory, okay. Drive error, assist bus, okay. Long debug spew that scrolls across the synth's screen is filled with numbers indicating recent files, play lengths, keyframes, and assist peak levels. Based on the numbers you're seeing, Tong's SimSynth has been hacked to remove the peak control error levels from the chips he's been burning. The required operation to make BTL chips. Delta wave outputs for these chips push them dangerously into brain-burning territory. File catalog for the high-peak BTLs indicates all the files and burned chips should be stored on his missing drives and whatever was in the empty chip jacks. Somebody's cleaned out Tong's BTL stash. Okay. And what's in your bathroom? It's immaculate and drains are tiny. Whatever killed him didn't exit through here. Okay. Well then, that was a scene. Hi, Zippy. Are you Zippy the Pinhead? This orc is busily snacking on a steamed bun. As you approach, he wipes off one of his hands and sticks it out toward you. Hello, stranger. Nice to see you. Zippy Toe Tag at your service. How are you liking Whampoa Garden? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, too. Listen, I know it's a little forward of me to just say hello and whatnot, but I'm interested in giving you a hand if I can. He gestures expansively at the squalid neon-lit streets of Whampoa Garden. This is my home, at least for the time being, and I'd like to stop these killings. We've never met before but I know exactly who you are. You're my replacement. The elders had me autopsy what was left of Elder Gon and Elder Nakamura after they got ripped apart, but I didn't want to dig any deeper. So since I don't know you, and I can smell a Shadowrunner a mile away, you've got to be the outsider they asked to stop the killings, right? Zippy tilts his head back, obviously pleased at his amateur deduction. Nothing gets by you. Yeah. See, I have good eyes. A lot of good eyes, actually, if you're in the market for replacements. Only slightly used, and they only come from certified donors, I swear. Ha 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 ha! Man, I kill myself. You a stand-up comedian? With jokes like that, Are you kidding me? I'm one of the only trained surgeons around here. I keep the other Whampoans healthy. Gotta practice down the road. Blind Chen's a pretty good cyber doc, but he's basically an implant specialist, and that's it. How'd you end up here? I did my residency back at the UCAS. Could have become a real MT too if things hadn't gone south for unrelated reasons. Zippy opens his coat, revealing a cyber deck. He pats it proudly. I also deck a little, but I'm better at slicing skin than I see. Ice. Whampoa Garden seemed a good fit for me. You have a lot of customers. That's the chip truth. I have to charge to cover my costs and eat, but it's damn near free service. There's always a waiting list, but it's good, honest work. I like helping my neighbors in the community. We all look out for each other. Somebody messes with one of us, they mess with all of us. That kind of community is rare as gold these days. How many places have an ethos like us? Not the damn corpse, that's for sure. I've lived a lot of places, done my fair share of Shadowrunning, but this place is special. Been a long time since I really felt like anywhere was real home. He looks off past you towards the Whampoa Garden streets. His expression grows wistful, like he's remembering something from a long time ago. I'm sure I'll move again, but not for a while. Not done with this city or these people. So it's peaceful? For the most part. Other than these killings, we don't have much by way of problems. We do information security for the triads, and that makes us fairly impervious to anyone who wants to start trouble. Anyone starts something, we hit them in the Matrix, while our triad friends hit them in the meat space. Some small-time gangs have tried pushing in here before, but they backed off when they figured out they weren't just picking a fight with the Tang and his guys, but both the Red Dragon and the Yellow Lotus. They got the message real quick. What was left of them, anyway. I don't know what's happening with this guy either. Let me ask you about Whampoa. Sure thing. What do you want to know? What are your thoughts on the murders? There's a sharp intake of breath as he shakes his head. Pretty gruesome business. Gon died from a broken neck. Looked like someone had wrenched it around and his arms and legs were cut off. Some skin flayed away, too. Nakamura had his throat ripped out by someone with pretty sharp teeth. At first I thought it was a devil rat, but the teeth marks were all from something with a humanoid jaw. I didn't look at Yutunde. Yutund? From what I saw at a distance, it's the same story. Didn't seem much point since I'd seen it twice already. As for Tong, from what the porter told me, it was Gon and Nakamura all over again. You take a look at him yet? Yeah. He shakes his head sadly. Damn, like Tong. BTL business is unsavory, but the man had to eat. His regular sims were great. Generally all around nice guy. Friendly with everyone, never had anyone mad at him. There ain't no justice, let me tell you. It looked like he was killed by a blade. Zippy recoils, shuddering against the rain. Kind of blade? Knife? Sword? Axe? He was attacked at the back of the neck. I don't like that at all. Zippy shivers, looking warily around. This whole affair has got me on edge. People dying is nothing new, but flayed skin. Ugh. After a moment, he composes himself and looks back to you. It sounds possibly like whoever's been killing the elders is trying to muddy the waters with all the blood and gore business. It's a crime of an intelligent, careful killer. Be careful. This investigation might take you somewhere very unpleasant. We'll go with it. We'll roll with it. What can you tell me about the elders? Well, they're an eclectic bunch, that's for sure. Where to start? Ing's the spiritual leader here. She's the voice of the Whampoans, I guess. A lot of her close friends are really more followers since she's something of a priest for the machine spirits. Maybe it's a cultural thing for people who grew up here, but it's never called to me. Still, she makes a damn fine pot of tea. Ip's the muscle, and has an encyclopedic knowledge of cyber and bioware. Definitely a good guy to have watching your back. Not too friendly, but you know how it is. Get a lot of cyber, people start wondering if they'll tear their arms off. He makes a chopping gesture with one hand. He's got moves straight out of Blood Carnival 3, The Reckoning. Terrible movie, but great fight choreography. What about Tang? I don't know much about him, but I think he's got some kind of fetish for automation. Found him cooing over some trids of automated delivery drones in a warehouse once. He works with drones, has a shop called the Blessed Autofab. He was raving about the efficiency of the movement patterns or something. You already know about Tong, ransoms, BTLs, skill chips. Gon used to be a city planner before he had a nervous breakdown and got involved in statistical analysis. Nakamura came from Fukuoka and was interested in entertainment. Trade mostly. Spent a lot of time analyzing subliminals and ads. And then there was Magpie. She was the chief decker, hot as hell against ice, and built her own hardware. Salty old woman, though. Never met anyone who was quite as shrill or nasty when she was mad. She was mad most of the time. Wait, what? Magpie. She didn't. Maybe a month ago, she just up and disappeared. Went to her shop one day and she just wasn't open. Nobody's seen her since. Kind of a pain in the ass, too. She owed me some new analyze software she picked up. Why would she disappear? No idea. One day she was just here and next poof. First I thought she was just on vacation since she had mentioned something about seeing the Kingdom of Hawaii someday. But it just didn't feel right. She would have at least told me that she was leaving. It seems mighty suspicious to me. Nobody else seems to care what happened to her, probably because she pissed them all off so bad. Is there any place you think I should start looking? You might want to check out her shop. It's all locked up, but the other elders have a spare key. Couldn't hurt to look around, even though Magpie was always butting head with the other elders. They wouldn't have any reason not to let you in. What do you mean they would? Magpie and the others never saw eye to eye. She was contrary for the sake of it. Most of the rest had a grand vision for what they wanted this neighborhood to become. Magpie just wanted to deck. She was only an elder because they needed someone with their matrix chops. Last big argument was between her, Ip, and Nakamura. It was over something relatively trivial, I think. Nakamura wanted to expand the private trade business into the matrix, and she just absolutely refused. Why did she refuse? She said something about not using up valuable bandwidth for trivial entertainment bullshit. Anyway, went from there into this rant about how she wasn't going to let Tang expand his drone business any further because it would get too much megacorp attention. They accused her of blocking them just because she could, which is probably true. Lots of screaming. What do you mean blocking them? Everybody needs her matrix skills for their businesses to run properly. There are other deckers, me, say, or Moi Nebi. Moi Genebi. Moi. But she had the infrastructure. If their project didn't interest her, she wouldn't even give them the time of day. She's a real hardhead about having her time wasted, but she figures if she's not interested in something, it has no value objectively. Kind of a major blind spot, if you ask me. Sounds like... Yes and no, she was, but since she disappeared, Elder Ip's taken over running the Matrix infrastructure. He's not as good as she was, but his experience with drones makes him the best candidate. They wouldn't entrust something like that to anyone who wasn't an Elder, so there you go. Thanks. Okay, so we go back and talk to them, I guess? Ask them about the, key? You got a key for us? Is there anything we can do for you? Why didn't you tell me about Magpie? Why would we have? Her departure from the Whampoans isn't related to your investigation. It happened before the killings began. I'm certain she's just off sulking somewhere. Her tone is profoundly indifferent. No doubt she'll come waltzing back next month, all full of attitude that life dared to go on without asking her permission. If she does, we'll welcome her back. Despite our problems with her behavior, her skills make her extremely valuable. I've taken over maintenance of our Matrix infrastructure in her absence, but I'm nowhere near her level. The best I can do is ensure nothing breaks down until she returns. Do you have the key to our shop? Yes, but there's a lot of sensitive equipment in there, including our community service. We don't let anyone who's not one of the Whampoan elders in there. Why would you need to look around there? I guess I don't really need to get in there. Magpie's automated systems might have access records for the killer's wireless devices. If I'm going to dump on the access logs, I'm going to be able to find. I was under the impression the killer was most likely a monster or an animal of some kind. All the bodies have been marked with bite and claw marks. Are you suggesting we're dealing with something different? Sentient? That seems unlikely. He wasn't killed with teeth or claws, he was killed by a bladed weapon. Tang cocks his head, confusion washing over his face. A bladed weapon? How do you know? His spine was severed between the 5th and 6th of cervical vertebrae. Scoring on the bone would indicate knife or sword. Tang looks from Ip to Ing, his mouth twisting down into a grimace. This complicates things. Take the key then, but don't break anything and don't shut off the servers. Was there anything else? No. Thanks. Do I want to talk to all the people in here? I mean, probably at some point at least. But in the meantime, we're going to find her shop. And is that it right there? I take it that's it right there. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna call it here. And then next time we will go and Whew. Don't know where that came from. Next time we will go and explore the shop, I think, and see what's waiting for us in there. So that should be exciting. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!